Right, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 5th of April 2022. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Destination Ghana launched. Project targets 1 million tourists from UK and Europe annually. Government spent 5 million Ghana cedis on Ajenkotoku Onion Market. Don't abandon COVID-19 protocol. Ghana Health Service cautions public. Country on high alert against terrorist attacks. Minister of National Security assures. Ghanaian Times. VIP unveils 13 joint venture companies. Outdoors new fashionable shoes from Kumasi Shoe Factory. Jospon Group provides equipment for Ghana forces. Tidal wave sweep away homes at Agaveji, Salakope in Ketu South. 1 killed, 8 injured in clashes between Achim Asunafo residents and miners. Daily Guide. Our fight Nana says backbone. Kempon woos despite Oforisa upon to Qatar. Baumia launches Ghana forces 1D, 1F. Ghana on high alert. Collins Dowda 4 others trial for May 11. The new crusading guide, no terrorist attack on Ghana, National Security Minister. Akufu Krom chief rise to new crusading guide. Osu Jase hits back at Nisaba Nachem over false publication. Lakeside Village and France ambassador hosts diplomatic dinner. Stop harassing residents. Adenta Municipal Assembly Task Force warned. The Insight. Farmers cry over rising cost of fertilizer and other inputs. E-levy will deepen economic hardship. Importers and Exporters Association warns. Alan Chirmantin, he says 5 out of 6 leading automobile firms now producing cars in Ghana. Biden's reality check in Europe. The Daily Statesman. Big boost for tourism. $25 million to upgrade iconic sites. Baumia inaugurates 12 Ghana forces private sector partnerships. Kandapa, where high alert against terrorists. Double track will not be implemented this year. The Finder. Destination Ghana project launched, inviting and welcoming the rest of the world to visit Ghana. Dr. Baumia launches new fashionable shoes from rejuvenated Kumasi Shoe Factory. Dr. Baumia inaugurates 12 Ghana forces private sector partnerships. Daily Post. Ghana's economy is terrible. BBC's Peter Okoche tells Akufo-Addo. I see not seat not vacant. Muntaka Mubarak. CD still ranks among West Sport returns in first quarter of 2022. Bloomberg. GPRTU to announce new transport fares today. Hey, I see. Sure, the cost of bicycles will go up. Business and Financial Times. Mobile money loses 10 billion cedis in value as e-levy implementation nears. Z Mobile Ghana app. New experience, new look. Kumasi Shoe Factory goes public with fashionable shoes. Baumia unveils joint venture companies under DHOC. Prudential donates 700,000 cedis to COVID-19 relief initiatives. Lakeside Village France ambassador hosts diplomatic dinner. That's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Do you want a modern vision for your office or a touch of sophistication for your living and bedroom spaces? Look no further than Kingdom Books and Stationery. At Kingdom Books and Stationery, we've been selling furniture and stationery for more than 20 years. Ours is a trusted brand that offers contemporary furniture designs that are elegant and timeless. And with so many designs, there is something for everyone. Discover our enormous range of affordable office furniture. We have executive and swivel chairs, office desk, tables and office equipment such as office safes, computers and accessories, as well as cabinets and shredders. Make your home a sanctuary with our wide range of home furniture, including beds, wardrobes, coffee and dining tables, and poolside chairs. And that's not all. We have hard copy books, notebooks, and all the accessories you would need for school or your workplace. So visit us today. You can locate us on the Osu La Road or the Akwa J Junction in Accra. Alternatively, you can shop online at www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery, delivering the promise.
Ebony TV and the sound system. High sensitive pro adrenaline tiasia so na ebrew. Model bia, size bia.
Every day you enjoy high sense
4K quality TV. I was smart features. High sense laser TV. I have 4K picture quality. High definition and high sense sound system. Bass at bass, treble at treble. I boom. Everything 28 March. I got him 8 April. Him dada. Madam High Sense. Matiti swam say who? Kwa High Sense showroom na kwa Jody. And more promo way in sound who? High Sense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Trasacco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasacco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasacco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Surfline.
A new ride, and you go pick your side chick. Are you taking her for a ride? This lifestyle, yeah, trash it. If you get dustbin for your place, do the shocky as you trash your waist. When you baller, you know get some, then hide your face.
Zoom Lion is giving you 1 million bins for free to get rid of your trash. Download the Zoom Lion app now for your free bin, or make trash collection payment, or simply dial *857#. Zoom Lion, your waste management expert.
I mean to mean this one. They call Rupian because I'm Manchester Mudua, the Babati petrol, so who do also another petrol boy and a costo. The Babati Yamaso, if some Bama Yafo, there's one breast of bread in Yafo, and then only cake once a year. Ghana today is in crisis. Agriculture, once upon a time the bedrock of our development, is a pale shadow of its former self. Manufacturing is at a very low ebb. Corruption is at its height. Our economy is in tatters. Inflation is high. Taxes are high. Businesses, both big and small, are struggling. And millions of young men and women are out of work. Incompetence is the hallmark of the Mahama government. Government appointments are not based on merit, but on considerations which are not only puzzling, but also bizarre. Our healthcare system is in shambles with the collapse of the National Health Insurance Scheme. The cost of education continues to be a big challenge for too many families. Young people who have toiled to obtain qualifications are having great difficulty in finding jobs. And there are hundreds of thousands of Ghanaian children who are not getting the kind of education that they need to compete in the 21st century. Ghana is in trouble. There is a need for change in the way in which this country is governed. A change that will make way for a competent, honest, hard-working, well-qualified team to take over the affairs of this country and steer it in the direction of prosperity for all.
And I understand that, but nevertheless, I don't think that anywhere in the world that people go into teaching expecting to become millionaires and make money. If you want to do that, you do other things. If you want to do teaching, it's because you want to make a contribution to the welfare of the society and its growth, and you've done that very, very well.
In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop.
Indeed, we all recollect some of those mouth-watering promises, including one by the current president to transform this country, Ghana, within 18 months. This crisis into which he has led us has spawned hardship and suffering for our people on a scale never witnessed in the 30-year history of our Fourth Republic. Daily price increases, fuel price adjustments, and nose-diving currency, which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest, he had arrested it. The dollar has rather arrested him, and so we're looking for him, we can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where our vice president was, and he said he doesn't have it, and he doesn't know his whereabouts.
Propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic? It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies logic.
You can see Dr. Bawumia is out of breath. So a man who has died in the market, you don't need to announce his funeral. Credibility matters a lot. My brother, we all know the truth we have unpeddled, and we have said it, that if a lion is found of patronizing the marketplace, they will treat it like a puppy.
All all of these are hurting. They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting. And therefore, you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue. And then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong. And we will change that particular policy.
Government is broke, but people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have 2 members of Parliament, and today's discussion will largely center on the happenings in Parliament. Some very interesting things going on in our Parliament. So, representing the good people of the South Day constituency is Roxanne Nelson, the former pope, is also a legal practitioner. Good morning.
Morning, Doc. How are you?
Good.
You're welcome back.
Special grace of God. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning to Collins.
Yes.
And good morning to my people in Peki Palik Paveton.
Right. So, the Honorable Collins Adumako Mensah represents the good people of the Fija Kwabre North constituency. He should have been a footballer. I'm sure he would have been on his way to Qatar by now, or he would have retired from football. Well, will you still be playing football if you had not stopped?
Well, I'm 38 now. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I would have retired by now. I would have made my name. Before retiring.
Anyway, at least you made your name at the university.
Yes, that's true.
You got a few a man come for. Anyway, Parliament has been quite interesting, and I've been following either on your live streaming or on the videos that are made available later in the day, and I want us to look at a couple of them that generated a lot of conversation in this country. The first one had to do with the ranking member on health raising issues about NHIS, and the figures he put out really were extremely shocking. You were in the house with him, watching the video. I even saw an intervention by the Minister of Health, which definitely didn't help matters in my view. But let's watch what transpired, and then you gentlemen can help me with the nitty-gritties as far as the debate is concerned.
Opportunity to contribute to the message on the state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, the least that is expected of every leader is to be candid to your people. Mr. Speaker, when His Excellency was delivering his speech, and Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I would want to quote from page 5, the first line. In all, data from the Ministry of Finance tells us that an amount of 17.7 billion has been spent in containing the pandemic since 2020. Mr. Speaker, this is inaccurate. The records Mr. Speaker, available to this House. And again, with your permission, I would want to refer you to the budget statement for 2021. Mr. Speaker, if you go to page 274 of the 2021 budget, the utilization with respect to COVID-19, Mr. Speaker, is 18.19 billion Ghana cedis. This 2021 budget was reporting on the expenditure on 2020 and not 2021, Mr. Speaker. So we spent more than 18 billion on COVID in 2020 alone, Mr. Speaker. How can the president say that we have spent 17.7 on COVID since 2020? Mr. Speaker, that is only 2020.
After 1 year.
That is only 2020. Mr. Speaker, utilization. Mr. Speaker, I will also refer you to the 2022 budget. That was also reporting, Mr. Speaker, the 2022 budget was also reporting on 2021.
Okay.
The actual. Mr. Speaker, if you go to page 335, the utilization there is about 2.6. And this is from January to September 2021, excluding October, November, December of 2021, excluding January, February, and March of 2022. We don't know how much we have spent for the past 6 months. Mr. Speaker, if you put this together, unless, of course, the president is mathematically challenged, that can never be 17.7 billion. Mr. Speaker, with all these expenditures, Mr. Speaker, we could not even install simple equipment at the Kotoka International Airport to test antigen test. We couldn't, after spending all these monies. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you now, there are frontline health workers we are still owing in this country. Frontline health workers we are still owing. And we have spent over 20 billion on COVID. Mr. Speaker, let me move on to another very sensitive issue. And I was surprised that Mr. President didn't touch on it at all. For the past 2 months, the service providers to the National Health Insurance Scheme have been complaining and threatening to withdraw their services. How can the president pretend not to have heard this? Mr. Speaker, citizens are complaining that anytime they go to health facilities, they are made to pay money and buy their own drugs, although they will be carrying a National Health Insurance card. Mr. Speaker, they are complaining that Mr. Speaker, they are complaining that there's a huge delay
Honorable Minister, I'll give the opportunity, please. So move on.
Let's go to Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that there's a huge delay, and I thought that it was not true. Mr. Speaker, the National Health Insurance Scheme is the main health financing scheme in this country, and the president didn't touch on that. Mr. Speaker, I now understand why the president didn't touch on it. Only yesterday, as part of the processes leading to the formulation of the 2020 formula, the National Health Insurance Authority appeared before our committee. And Mr. Speaker, listen to what I'm going to say. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2021, the government of Ghana, the finance ministry, the finance minister, Honorable Kenukuyata, collected about 2.056 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, listen, the worst is yet to come. Out of the 2 billion, you know how much they have released to the fund? They have released 127 million. Oh, Mr. Speaker, less than 10%. Less than 10%. How would the scheme not be collapsing? How would the scheme not be collapsing, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, cash and carry.
Please, I'll give you opportunity. I'll give you opportunity.
Why is the minister panicking like that?
I just want to be fair to them. I'll give you the opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, this is their own records. Mr. Speaker, why? Honorable Leader,
I would defer to you on any matter. But in this house, at least if for nothing, if we have a sector minister rising, Speaker, it's just fair.
I want to just mention that my colleague, the ranking member of the Health Committee, an MP for Jabeso, I think, is seriously misleading this House. Mr. Speaker, he has picked on two issues. The numbers of COVID expenditures, mentioning from the budget and actuals, without any serious reconciliation on his part, to give us where we are getting things wrong. Mr. Speaker, things that are put in the budget, he knows, are always provisional. He knows this. They can never be valid numbers. And provisional figures are always reviewed when actuals are captured. So I'm surprised that he's using provisional figures, comparing with actuals, and throwing dust into the eyes of everybody. I have said in this chamber on several occasions that if you take our time for auditors to go through misclassifications and whatever it is, till they come out with proper, correct values, you can't be using budget estimates to come here to throw dust into the eyes of every people. And I believe very much that the finance minister at the appropriate time will come with proper figures, just like have been mentioned by the president in his speech. And you can't go away from that fact. Mr. Speaker, the next thing he's trying to talk about is release of 127 billion for health insurance to run the whole year. This cannot be correct. You said that the president should be candid, and I want you to be candid to yourself, right? You never release 127. The amount released is not 127. The amount released is big, but you are going out to take away arrears that has been paid to us, and then coming to tell us that you have released 127. Mr. Speaker, the arrears that you left behind are those that they are releasing, and they are releasing to take care of current expenditures until we also come close to where we are. So I don't understand why my colleague will come here and say that we release only 127. How could we have them paid providers throughout the year? Mr. Speaker, I wish that my colleague should stop throwing that into the eyes of people and go straight to be candid, just like he was admonishing the president to have done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Shocked about the reaction from the Minister of the Health, Minister for Health. The Speaker, I am quoting from the budget, and I'm saying that the budget was reported on the previous, and listen to the heading, page 274, appendix 12B, performance summary by funding sources. It's not the projections that could be reviewed. These are the real figures they had spent, and they were reporting on the previous year. How could that be? Then you have to go and call your finance minister to come and withdraw the budget. Come and withdraw the budget. Mr. Speaker, I am shocked that the Home Minister can give this reaction. Again, Mr. Speaker, he said I am rather lying and I must be candid. Mr. Speaker, you see this document. It is part the processes we go through before we arrive at the formula. This document was given to us only yesterday. Mr. Speaker, on page 10, table 4.3.2, unless the minister doesn't know what is going on. Mr. Speaker, 2021 reported collections 2.056.06 billion. That is 2021. With respect to 2021, the amount released, Mr. Speaker, is 127.47 million. Mr. Speaker, how can the minister behave this way? Oh my God. Mr. Speaker, let me continue. Mr. Speaker, and to wind up on the National Health Insurance, Mr. Speaker, we in this house, we made a law, the National Health Insurance Act. And if you go to section 52.1 and 52.2, it's clear that once the money is collected from us, within a month, you must launch the money into the National Health Insurance Fund. Every 6 months, the minister responsible for finance should appear on this floor to come and tell us how he has lost the money. Mr. Speaker, since he became the minister responsible for finance, he has never accounted for National Health Insurance Fund on this floor. And that is the position of the law. You won't keep quiet for us to explain some of these things. Mr. Speaker, again, there's another very sensitive project, Agenda 111. And you see, Mr. Speaker, when the president appeared before the House, what he was doing was to prepare the minds of Ghanaians that he is going to fail to deliver 111 hospitals within the 12 to 18 months he promised us. But Mr. Speaker, even after 2024 elections, we'll still hold him accountable. Mr. Speaker, where did we come from? In 2020, Mr. President promised us that he was going to deliver 88 hospitals within 1 year. The expectation was that within 1 year, at the end of 2021, we should be seeing 88 hospitals.
So, Honorable Akando, you should also begin.
Mr. Speaker,
it's left with only 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, no problem. Mr. Speaker, the Agenda 111, the only amount that has been allocated for the 2020 budget is only 518. Mr. Speaker, the disturbing trend is how opaque the whole process is. The multimedia.
Hold on, before you land. So,
Mr. Speaker, just as we are guiding you,
please, no way to be found. Mr. Speaker, don't worry, he has the right to run away. Mr. Speaker, Agenda 111. The interesting aspect is that the whole media house wrote to the Ministry of Health demanding information, and the Ministry of Health wrote back to them that they don't have any information on Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, Mr. Speaker, I think that, Mr. Speaker, as a country, when you have the opportunity to rule this country, you should not take the opportunity to create jobs for your family and friends. Mr. Speaker, we have a long
your time is up. Please.
Thank you.
Your time is up.
it is a fact the majority chief whip has consulted me that we should suspend the motion to thank His Excellency and move to item number 19. That's
I was just trying to clear the ambiguity that the word offensive without law for self was creating. And therefore, I sought leave to actually correct the resolution. That was where we were before I moved for adoption. That instead of just offensive, we insert to the committee's thing. Then let's put the question before we go there. Thank you, Mr.
Right, so that's the debate on the President's State of the Nation address delivered to us through Parliament. And that was the Honorable Minta Kando, Ranking Member on Health, also taking up issues with respect to the health segment. Now, Roxanne,
yes.
Let me start off with you. Those were very, very serious allegations. Not even the minister's intervention could help, because when Honorable Akando came back, he actually pointed to the fact that those were outturns and not projections. The disclosure about the national health insurance that we collected over 2 billion and only released 127, and he was alluding to a document presented to Parliament by the National Health Insurance Authority itself confirming that. These are very, very serious and disturbing.
Yes. Now, Rani, thank you very much. Indeed, this is not akin to the NHIS alone. And I'll speak to all the other statutory and constitutional funds that have fallen into serious areas. So let's start with the NHIS. This is in fact, we just approved the formula for 2022. And this is the report they brought. This is the document.
Okay.
So that everybody will know that we speak. And this is the document brought by NHI itself. Randy, if you look at...
Collins, you have one?
I'm on the health committee.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So they interrogated the figures.
Okay.
If you go to page 10 of the report, and I'll leave the report with you.
That's great.
Table 4, sub 3, sub 3. In 2019, the budgeted collection was for 1.962 billion. Now, when they do that, you know, there's the budget and there are actuals. What they actually collected, Randy, was 1.262 billion. Okay. Then in 2020, what they budgeted for was 2.1 billion. They actually exceeded by collecting 2.3 billion. In 2021, they budgeted for 1.9 billion, but they also exceeded by collecting 2.05 billion.
And these are proceeds from the NHI levy?
Yes.
Okay.
These are funds that you and I, when we purchase anything,
and,
you see.
And the law says that when that money is collected, what will happen?
Section 52, subsection 1 of the law is very clear that when the monies are collected, the finance minister must remit the institution as a matter of law. And I'll give you that section. Okay. Now, reported releases by the NHI itself has these figures, or the actual releases has these figures. For 2019, out of the 1.692 billion collected, the agency released 721 million.
That's what they got.
No, that's what the finance minister released to them.
So I mean, that's what the NHI got.
Exactly.
Out of 1.6 billion,
Yes.
they got 700.
Yes. So the finance minister kept about 57% of the monies at the finance ministry. In 2020, when COVID struck, we collected 2.3 billion. He released 790 million. Yes. 790 million. So he kept 66.1% of the proceeds. In 2021, this is where the scandal is. We collected in excess of 2 billion. The finance minister gave to them 127 million. Not even 200 million.
127.
Yes.
And when did they present this report to Parliament?
This came yesterday. In fact, we reviewed this. We approved of. You will see that National Health Insurance Fund.
So you probably received this on Thursday or Friday.
Yes, this is very current. Okay. This is very, very current, and I'm happy that he's.
So they are reporting this 3 months into 2022.
Exactly.
Of how much they were given from the 2021 allocation.
Yes.
And out of 2 billion, they were giving 127 million.
Yes, but let me even bring the figure home properly. So in all, between 2019 and 2021, as at 31st December 2021, government collected on behalf of NHIs 5.6 billion cedis, and only gave them 1.6 billion.
And kept 4 billion.
Exactly. Something
of NHI levy.
Yes. So the question is, why is the finance minister stifling NHIs? And NHIs is rolling out a lot of programs.
But why have you guys also looked on?
We haven't looked on.
I was going to add sheepishly.
No, we haven't looked on.
Yes.
If you recall, as part of our oversight, included, if you remember, even the COVID expenditure. You know, the NHIs levy a lot of expenses occurred during the COVID era. You recall that? Purchase of PPEs and all that. So all those figures featured into the COVID expenditure. That was why we were asking for the actual COVID expenditure figures to be interrogated. He refused. So questions have been filed. He hasn't come to answer those questions. For instance, he announced that there will be a 20% cut in government expenditure for 2022. I filed a question asking him to come and tell Parliament the details of those expenditure cuts to guide everyone going forward, so that when I get to my constituency, I'll be able to speak to their expectations. Because the assemblies will be heavily affected. He hasn't come to respond to those. And Randy, like I was saying, it is not NHIS alone. Get Fund, yesterday, Get Fund came to Parliament. Now, you are aware that the government has taken $1.5 billion loan and collateralized annual Get Fund receivables. Yeah. Yesterday, when they brought the formula for approval for 2022 to guide their activities and programs, it came to light that in 2021, as at 31st December, we actually raised 1.2 billion from the Get Fund levy. Randy, do you know what happened? Government spent as much as 866 million on debt servicing. Hold on.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Hold on. They actually spent 866 million. Then it also emerged that last year there was a shortfall in recovery. So they had to pay that. And that totaled 145 million. So when you add 145 million to 866 million, that is $1 billion gone completely. So Get Fund receives 1.1 billion and gives out over $1 billion. So we are paying the taxes. Get Fund is supposed to receive them to undertake its projects and programs. But because government has collateralized its receivables, we receive the monies and then we use it to service the debt.
But we got some money.
That's the point.
In advance.
Thank you.
And we use the money. It's like front loaded.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you have to pay the interest on it.
Hold on. But let's interrogate the effect of the monies they got up front.
Okay, that's another.
No. Yes. It's very, very important.
Right.
If you look at their own reports for that they brought yesterday, which we used for the approval, go to page 7. If you go to page 7, Get Fund says that, for instance, the E-blocks that were uncompleted as at the time the government came in 2017 was 38. From 2017 to date, it is still 38 uncompleted. Randy, are you listening?
Yes.
Uncompleted. Now,
so the money that was received as a result of the collateralization was supposed to help complete some of these projects.
Thank you.
And the point you make is that 5 years on.
I think we gave the approval in 2018, so they began to roll out from 2019. So I'll be more charitable.
So 3 years on.
So 3 years on,
they've not been completed.
We are not able even to complete existing structures. And let me show you why. When you go to second cycle institutions, the government came to meet 907 uncompleted structures, the whole country. What they have done is that from 2017 to date, they have also added 487 structures. We are not completing existing ones. Those that we are we are unable to complete. So the figure they have is that they have 1,394 uncompleted structures. Uncompleted. Now let's go to completed. When you go to completed,
the collateralized funds, were they in dollars or cedis?
It was in dollars. Okay. The loan was 1.5 billion.
Okay.
But it is released in tranches.
Okay.
Now, if you go to completed structures, in 2017, before 2017, government came to meet, for instance, 127 completed structures at the tertiary level. From 2017 to date, government has completed 0 structures. 0. Their own data, 0. If you go to second cycle, they came to meet 513 completed structures. Between the time they've taken the collateral and now, they've completed only 489. So at the basic level, it's even more debilitating. Out of 690 structures they came to meet as completed, they are able to complete only 424. So what was the essence of taking this loan ahead of time of the receivables that we get? And again, Randy, we have come to tell Parliament that we've set up what we call a special purpose vehicle. They call it the DACHI. Government sets up a company purposely to manage this facility. Why are we spending in excess of 15 million Ghana cedis in raising bonds if DACHI was set up to manage that? I'm not concocting. These are the figures contained in their own report. 15 million Ghana cedis as the expenditure on raising the bonds.
Bonds of how much?
Bonds of about 2 billion
cedis.
Yes, it's part of the the equivalent of 1.5 billion is about 5.something billion at the time in 2018-2019. And Randy, it is not NHIS, it is not Get Fund alone. The District Assembly's Common Fund, and the administrator also was with us yesterday. That too is in arrears. And my brother is here. We haven't received our payments for the last 3 quarters. It hasn't happened. She's not been given money, so she too cannot pay us. She can't pay the assemblies. And what is striking is that there's a collaboration between the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development, and the judiciary. They are assisting through the use of the Common Fund to build about 100 courthouses. So the Common Fund is the funding, is the source of funding. And the president spoke eloquently about these courthouses, that at least by next year, he will be able to complete about 50 of them plus accommodation. You are not giving the monies to the Common Fund administrator to be able to release for some of these projects to be constructed. How are you completing them in a year when we've entered April? First quarter is completely gone. So it's a real problem.
What do you say to the viewpoint that withholding or not releasing some of these statutory funds on time is nothing new?
It cannot be that it's nothing new, because their own figures speak to the fact that yes, releases have for some time now been in some form of arrears, but the incidence is what is worrying. If it's in arrears for about 10%, 15%, that can be manageable. Everybody will appreciate the difficulties government have, especially in getting the remittances on time. But when you collect in excess of 2 billion and you release 127 million, what explanation can you give for this? And you want to say that because it's been a practice in the past? Give us the figures and let's interrogate it. So for the statutory funds,
you have been in Parliament for a while.
Yes.
Have we ever witnessed the national health insurance situation before?
Your question is not, have I ever witnessed?
Yeah, have we as a country ever witnessed this situation with the NHI?
No,
where
at all.
We collect these monies
at all.
And I mean, if you look at the situation of last year, that will collect 2 billion and release only 127 million.
Yes, well, at all. And you see, what's good about some of these reports is that when they come, they give you a certain
historical perspective.
Exactly. So the figures speak to themselves. It's only of Oriata who is keeping the monies this way, and it appears that nobody is able to stand up to him.
But you are Parliament.
I'm in Parliament. I have just told you that I filed a question. The man announced in February, I think February 4th or 5th, that because of the difficulties in passing e-levy at the time, government is constrained, so they are compelled to cut down on expenditure by 20%. So if you are cutting down your expenditure from our appropriation of 145 billion by 20%, let us know the details. That's why Adongo has been asking. If your projected revenue is 100 billion and your projected expenditure is 145 billion appropriation, and you are cutting down expenditure by 20%, that will bring it to about 29 to 30 billion maximum. Now, if you deduct that from 145, you should have a revenue projection versus expenditure projection difference of about 12 billion or 15 billion topmost. Let me say 15 billion. All right? Because 15 plus 30 will give you 45. So if I deduct the 30 billion approximation, that will be cut down from expenditure. Your expenditure to revenue projection should be about 15 billion. So Adongo has been asking, would that still constitute 7% of budget deficit? But the man maintains that if you read his statement presented on Thursday, 24th March, if you go to paragraph 38, page 19 of that report, it says, ladies and gentlemen, these measures outlined today will significantly improve the macro physical situation towards the restoration of confidence and safeguard the achievement of the 2022 budget deficit target of 7.4 of GDP. And Adongo has been asking, if your revenue projection was 100 billion, expenditure projection 145 billion, you are doing a 20% cut, should we still be maintaining a 7.4 GDP deficit, budget to GDP deficit? It's a problem.
Oh, maybe it's an Ivy League calculation. Collins, look, I don't understand something.
Yes, Randy.
Please help me. Fortunately for me, you're on both the finance and health committees. Look, this administration came with a capping policy. So even funds earmarked for particular agencies, they capped it. So you didn't have a situation where all the funds were going to those agencies, and so government was keeping some. In fact, there was even an attempt to add the statutory ones, and then legal issues were raised that, look, you cannot do that, so it was left alone. So we have a capping policy. So the road fund and others are not even getting all what is due them. A chunk is being diverted to the consolidated fund for general use. Now it looks like the statutory ones that the finance ministry was blocked from capping on the basis of law. It is found a way of capping those funds, and everybody, especially Parliament, is looking on helplessly.
Randy, good morning to you again, and to my fellow Vandal. Sharp. Today is Kojopon's birthday.
Yes.
Today is his 40th.
I have about 6 of them.
Yes, so a happy birthday to my very good brother Kojopon Kroma.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Randy, as you said, I'm a member of the health committee, and I was at the meeting when the NHI appeared.
Okay.
Now the process normally is that they appear before the committee, first have a discussion about their formula, even before we come to the plenary. So I was at the meeting, and Randy, there's something I've also learned in political communication. Be candid.
No.
You just have to be candid when there are issues. I mean, speak the truth. Let the people understand why you did
what you did.
I mean, it brings some clarity and some comfort to people. Everybody understands.
People might disagree with you,
yes,
but
everybody understands that the economy is facing some challenges. So when you are candid with the people, it's better. And the officials from NHIA, they know they were coming to Parliament. And Parliament is a house of records. And committees can compel you to provide information. So they could not have come to the committee and presented wrong information to the committee, knowing very well that they can be charged for perjury. So when they appeared and we all got hold of the documents, Randy, the first thing everybody quickly zoomed to was this particular issue. Because you are coming to us for a formula to work with. It's just nice for you to brief us what you did with the previous formula that we gave you. So it was at that particular time that we realized this particular releases. And Randy, it was Akando who raised the issue at the meeting. And in fact, Akando threatened that he was going to call for a vote on that particular issue at the committee level.
Right.
Yes. And Randy, to be very frank with you, and I know some of my colleagues from our side who are on the committee, we all at that point agreed with Akando and said, no, the figures looks a little bit disturbing to everybody. And that we are asking them to go back and bring even an official from the ministry. In fact, the chairman directed that subsequently, when the officials from the NHIA are coming, a letter should also be sent to the finance ministry for them to bring a representative in order to bring some clarity to the issue. So Randy, when on the floor there was an attempt to disagree with some of the figures, it was a little bit worrying to me.
But what's more worrying is that the person who decided to dispute the figures was no other person than the Minister of Health himself.
Well, I cannot hold brief for him. Yes. It is probably he had not even seen the document. I don't know. I can't defend him.
So why do you then say that it is not 127? The amount sent there was big without mentioning the figure?
He was talking of budget.
He was talking of budget.
I was speaking of actuals.
Actuals. The point is that...
But he's an accountant.
Yes.
He had the man say that 2021 budget reporting on 2020 actuals.
Yes.
So what were you contesting?
Randy, I'll even come and deal with that. Yeah. On the releases from NHI, Randy, there's only one cure.
One cure?
One cure to this.
Which is?
Is to bring the finance minister.
Okay.
That is the only cure. And Parliament has the power to do so. Parliament has, in fact, at the committee level, the chairman directed that the officials to go back, come back with other information, and if they are coming, they should come with an official from the ministry to explain to us the reasons for the delay in the releases. As for delays in releases, Randy, my brother and I, now he's talking about the frequency of it, or maybe the volume, or the how do I put it? Maybe the frequency, if I can put it that way. But as for delays in release, it's been happening. If the quantum is such huge, it brings everybody is startled. And that is why I'm saying that Parliament has a cure for this mischief.
Let me ask you this question. Has the NHIA brought to your committee a revised allocation formula? Have they brought anything to you?
So
after the document that Honorable Akando referred to in Parliament, have you received a revised document from NHIA?
No.
Which changes the figures?
No, we have not. And that is why they reported it to the plenary.
But after the plenary, is it possible for the NHIA to bring another document?
It is if Parliament is so
yes. No, I'm saying that after they presented it to the committee and you've sent it to the plenary,
yes,
can the NHIA come back to say that, look, we made some mistakes, the figures were wrong, so we are changing the figures? For example, the 127 reported, it wasn't so, it was 500.
They can.
Okay.
They can
do that.
But you have not received any such document?
No, we have not received.
In fact, the document went before the committee, I think, on Tuesday.
The document came to us on Thursday.
Okay.
I think we
sorry, today is Monday. Today is Tuesday.
On Thursday. And then we asked them to go back. At the committee, we told them to go back.
So this matter fed into the weekend's issues.
And if there were any changes, the report that would have come to the plenary would have been different. It tells you that this is the figure and it's actual.
And we adopted it just yesterday night.
But it's possible that they could. So Parliament has adopted it.
Yes. We've approved. What we have done is that
approving the formula.
We've interrogated the figures.
Yes.
Criticized government and approved the formula they brought to us for their work this year. That's the way we do it.
But it does not stop us as members of Parliament to inform the finance ministry to bring clarity.
But what I'm asking is, can the NHI, after all this process and approval, come back again and say that, look, we made some mistakes?
They can. They can.
It's a stage.
But you are not aware if that's been done yet?
No.
But Randy, I'm telling you that we did it yesterday night. It's
so Randy, my point is that I was on the committee. I can't come here and sit here and say something different because I was there and the documents were given to us. I read through the documents, and what was presented to the plenary is exactly what was given to us at the committee level. And it shows that releases from the finance ministry to the NHIA has delayed. It's not a new phenomenon, but of course, if Parliament is so minded, we could ask for more clarity from the finance ministry, and that for me is the only cure to this part. As for NHIA, they are just recording what they received. Randy, what they did was just actual and budgeted. We budgeted for this. This is how much was released to us. It's as simple as that. That's their job. It is my duty as a member of Parliament and my brother to question why, based on the law, why all of them were not released to you and only this amount was released to you. So we can then put the question to the appropriate quarters for answers. So that is my opinion. That's my point on this. There's no need to try to massage and no. Let's be candid with the people of Ghana. These are the situations, and we all know that yes, we went through a very difficult situation last year. There's nothing wrong in the ministry coming out to explain, and I'm sure. And I was speaking to one colleague of myself in the mid-year review. I'm sure the minister has a lot of work and a lot of explanations to give. I believe very strongly that he's capable of doing so, and so let's just wait. But for me, the surest way to cure this is to ask questions to the minister to find out why the law says this, but this amount was released. That for me is the cure for this. So Akanda was right. He was right on the basis of the facts that were presented to the committee and what he presented on the floor. He was right. There's no doubt about it. My brother also talked about the debt fund, and I'm sure you were trying to explain to him. Of course, once you have securitized your inflows, you don't expect that when the money comes, it just comes to you. It will go to debt servicing. So I'm not too worried about the debt servicing angle of it. Yes, because of course, once you have, as you say, you front loaded it. You are just saying that give me money now, I'll get money later. When I get the money, please use it to pay. So that for me is not too much of an issue.
I guess the interest should more be on the utilization.
Yeah. So as for the debt servicing angle, definitely there has to be some debt servicing issue about it. And then Akando raised an issue about the minister coming to the floor to report based on the law. I'm all for it, Randy. Accountability is very important. I'm all for it. And if this thing spans through all governments, I don't recall when the former minister of the S1 NDC was coming to Parliament all the time to fulfill that particular obligation. So yes, it's a good call.
You were hauling Setekpe to Parliament almost every week.
No, this one, I think is the health minister. On the finance minister.
No,
the finance minister. Okay, the finance minister.
In fact, this is the law. Let me help you. So that Section 52, subsection 1 of Act 852, which is the NHIS Act 2012, it says the minister responsible for finance shall within 30 days after the collection of the levy cause the levy to be paid directly into the fund.
Yes.
And furnish the minister responsible for health and the authority with evidence of the payment. So when he pays them, when he makes releases, he has to do two things. First, to notify the health minister as well as the CEO of the authority. And also come to Parliament to report on those. He hasn't done any of this.
If he doesn't do, what does the law say?
No, but Randy, I don't think he has not done all. Because of course the fact that the management of national health came to report on the releases to tell him that they are informed when releases are done. So that aspect,
that would be what the law envisages is that whatever you collect,
within
30 days, pay it, and give evidence to those
two. Clearly, the law says 30. That there's been a breach of that. But not all, clearly from the report we are having, not all the money that
the man hasn't even paid 2019.
I'm telling you, not all that was released was released. That the report is clear on that. I'm saying it's not a new phenomenon. We've had this challenge all this while, and that's why even in their government, NHIS was still in arrest. It's been there. There's no question about that. Then the issue about reporting to the health minister, he's been doing it, but he's been sending letters. It is coming back to Parliament, the third angle, that probably has not been doing. And I'm saying this is not a new phenomenon. The erstwhile finance minister was also not doing it. But as members of parliament, we have a duty to enforce that.
Right.
And that is what I'm saying. It's an indictment on all of us.
Right.
It is not an indictment. Questions have been filed. Questions have been remitted to his office. It is taking him forever to come and answer.
And are you saying Parliament is helpless?
We are not helpless, but you see that
you have asked the man questions. He's not coming to appear, not appearing before Parliament to answer those questions.
Yes.
Yet Parliament grants him audience.
You know,
are you not shortchanging yourself?
No, we are not.
Why?
That, you see, some of these matters is up to leadership. There are bureaucracies.
Leadership is still Parliament.
Sometimes the excuses will be that the questions have been remitted to him. He's trying to gather the answers and to come. Meanwhile, pursuant to outstanding orders, when a question is admitted and referred to a minister, the minister ought not to take more than 3 months to come and answer.
So I'm saying that if you have all this in your standing orders,
no, I said 3 months,
yes,
3 weeks.
If you have all this in your standing orders,
yes,
why is Parliament not taking the position that a minister who does not?
That is why, for instance, yesterday,
yes,
it is being urged upon the leader of government business to produce his finance minister today.
Okay. Now your colleague from Kwadasu, Dr.
Yes.
Kinsenyaku,
yes,
say a few things, most of them to you. He says, number one, I'd like to put on record that the outstanding NHI's legacy debt by the NDC of 1.2 billion cedis was cleared by the Kufuor government by December 2019. All were cleared. In 2020...
what does it mean by outstanding legacy debt? What does it mean by that?
I'm sure what it meant was that there were monies accruing to NHI which had not been paid at the time.
Yes, but the money has been received. So all that you did was you took over power and you released the funds.
So let me go. It says in 2020, on 24 June 2020, 87 million cedis was paid in addition to 598 paid earlier in the year. So payments have been made and some have been outstanding. The ranking is aware of this.
No, let
me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
So why didn't Akando tell us of the debt of 1.2 billion they left behind and who paid that debt? We must be honest in this country. So it's also found out from Roxin, if the NHIS fund was not part of the earmarked funds, Capping and Realignment Act they passed in 2017. Tell Roxin that outstanding 800 million debt serviced by Get Fund were the liabilities they left behind. This government cleared their mess. The establishment of Dachi became necessary because the syndicated banks that were to raise the $1.5 billion couldn't. Raising Dachi was formed to seek the money from the capital market, and Dachi has helped a lot.
First of all, Dr. Nyaku is not paying attention to what we are saying. We are not talking of legacy debt. And there's nothing like legacy debt in respect of NHIS. The law says when you collect the levy on behalf of the authority, within 30 days, release it. So if it was your problem that somebody collected 1.2 billion and couldn't release, and the money was sitting in account, and you took over power and made that releases to the NHIS, do you have to continue doing worse than that? Is Dr. Nyaku saying that to keep 1.2 billion and not release to NHIS, for him to come and release it, is better than keeping 2 billion or 4 billion? So this is a zero-sum argument. This is a journey to nowhere. 2, he says what? The 886 million debt servicing money was monies that they used to pay what at Get Fund. You have gone ahead to take $1.5 billion and told Parliament that you needed this money to be able to carry on with infrastructure projects because the receivables trickle in, and therefore at the end of every year, whatever you have, you collateralize it and use it to service the debt. The evidence is emerging that even though you've taken this money, you are stifling Get Fund from undertaking those projects. So for instance, you have more uncompleted projects instead of completing existing ones. You came to meet uncompleted projects. You are not completing them. You are adding on to the number of uncompleted projects we have. I am not concocting the figures. Get Fund's report is saying so. So why would you go and borrow money and use it to build buildings that you won't complete? And when we get the receivables, we are using almost the entire receivables to service the debt that you have gone to collect. So you should pay attention to the issues we are discussing and stop these roadside commentaries.
Oh, take your time.
Oh, yes.
Take your time.
I will draw that.
Thank you.
I will draw that.
But Randy, let me just, based on your the data, the document that you brought, completed projects.
Yes.
I'm seeing for second cycle.
Yes.
Pre-2007.
Yes. No, 2017.
2017.
Yes.
You had completed 500.
It's an euphemism for NDC.
Yes, before. Of course. 513.
Yes.
2017 to date, 489.
Yes.
That's not bad. That's not bad, my brother.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, between, you said the collateralization started in 2018.
Yes.
It started in
2019.
April 2019.
So taking effect from 2019.
And within 5 years, you've completed 489.
Out of how many?
That figure was not here.
Okay.
489. No, but you pre-2017,
yes.
Within 8 years, you have completed 530.
No, these are not within 8 years.
Okay,
matter.
Based on what I'm looking at. I mean, I'm saying that by the time we took over, you had completed 530.
But if you collateralize, what it means is that you have a lot of money.
Thank you.
Today.
Thank you.
To do the numbers. Yes.
But I'm saying
instead of waiting,
don't worry.
We have money every year to do what can be done.
I'm saying we have an 8-year mandate. We are in 2022. You've already done 400.
No, I still don't appreciate the point I'm making. I'm saying that if you decide to, it's, for example, I'm going to receive 10,000 cedis every month. Every month when I receive the 10,000, there is an extent to which I can
apply that.
I can apply that, and I decide that I want to collateralize it and receive 120,000. Obviously, if I receive the 120,000 within the 1 month,
I can do a
lot more. Yeah. So
ask him as an empty if he gets all his common file releases in a year.
He will do wonders. We'll back shortly.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is
tired and frustrated. After meeting all our targets, company cannot help us with our health needs.
Honestly, they are not helping us. Something has to be done about this.
You see, just yesterday I was at the hospital with my wife, and can you imagine the amount of money being charged? So outrageous.
Relax, guys. Just leave everything to me. Today I will deal with him accordingly.
You have to.
I surely will. Today be today. Sir, we want to leave. We are tired. We've been doing everything possible to ensure the success of this organization, but it looks like our healthcare is not taken into consideration. Am I speaking your mind?
Yes, you are.
And that is not fair.
Get a Cosmopolitan Health Insurance for all your employees today and have an easy life. Call us for your package.
Okay, guys, you are leaving because I have good news for you.
Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, providing the highest levels of coverage possible to our clients.
Ebony TV any sound system. High sense dear pro adwene ntiase so na ebrɛ wo. Model bia, size bia.
Every day you enjoy high sense
4K quality TV. I want smart features. High sense laser TV. I have 4K picture quality. High definition and kasa. High sense sound system. Bass at bass, treble at treble, Everything 28th March, everything 8th April. Dada, Madam Hisense, Matiti Swamam say, who? Kwa Hisense showroom na kwa Jodie. And more promo way in San Juan. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Stop that trash. Stop it now. Stop that trash. Stop all that trash. Stop it now. Your girlfriend gives you a new ride. And you go pick your side chick. Are you taking her for a ride? This lifestyle, dear, trash it. If you get dustbin for your place, do the shocky as you trash your waist. When you baller, you know get some, then hide your face.
Zoom Lion is giving you 1 million bins for free to get rid of your trash. Download the Zoom Lion app now for your free bin, or make trash collection payment, or simply dial *857#. Zoom Lion, your waste management expert.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable Roxy Nelson, the Famako, and Honorable Collins Adumako Mensa. Still in Parliament and still on the State of the Nation address by the President. We have built 10,000 new roads. And then the president did something that I found quite interesting. Let's watch the president in that video. And were both of you in the house?
Yes.
So you saw him when he did what he did? Yes. What did he mean?
The kindergarten trick.
What did he mean by that?
I think
that's what we used to do when we were children and you were teasing your.
You know, I was shocked when I saw
you tease your bully, somebody who bullies you, you run away from me and then you go and stand afar and then you do that.
I was shocked.
Right, I think,
but the beating will wait for you the next day.
I think, I don't know, but I think, you know, prior to the 2016 election,
yes,
when the NDs were touting,
but you guys didn't see it.
No,
you know, his face
I saw it.
Okay.
When the NDs were touting the rules that they've done, and I remember His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, in a very sarcastic jovial way, Nana has been sleeping. Okay. When he's traveling, he's been sleeping, so he opened his eyes. Okay. So when the president also made the statement that during his tenure, he's been able to build this number of roads, then the colleagues there started, hey, but who? And then he said,
who told him that?
No, but I like this rationalization.
That's it. I think
this is the best reasoning behind that.
Collins, who told the president that he's built 10,000 kilometers on new roads?
Well, you see, I always say that the president is one person. He sits at the presidency. These speeches, and Randy, I think you know better.
Your people are feeding wrong figures.
A lot of people come around to help you prepare the speeches. Yes. I'm not too sure the president on his own can know that he built this number of roads.
No, but you see, anyway, but you see, when the roads minister appeared before Parliament in, I think, February of this year.
Yes.
He presented you a document.
Yes.
Okay. And the document gives the breakdown. And in that document, the new roads that have been built were not up to even 70 kilometers. Now, when you say you've built new roads, it means non-existent. What you have added to our road network, it means non-existent.
Yes.
How do you believe that you can build 10,000 kilometers non-existent roads?
In fact, 10,885.
Something should tell you that there must be something significantly,
so the speech
wrong with it. But anyway, anyway, what makes it worse is the attempted rationalization
of it.
But still, with the debate, something interesting happened on the floor.
Okay.
The Honorable, what's the name?
Abuja.
No. A James, is it a James?
Okay, former Deputy Roads Minister.
Yes. On the floor. Let's watch what happened.
In the 5 years of my government, so far, more roads have been built, improved, and upgraded than that at any equivalent period under any government in the history of Ghana. Some 10,885 kilometers of new roads have been constructed in these 5 years. Let me mention, Mr. Speaker, that yesterday it was my honor and great pleasure to have commissioned the Tamale interchange.
Mr. Speaker, I will just concentrate on roads. Many of my colleagues have commented on roads, and so I want to take the opportunity to make some few comments to set the record straight. Mr. Speaker, earlier this year, in February, the chairman of the Committee of Transport, Roads and Transport, did claim that the President Nana-Akufo-Addo's first term, he has unprecedentedly constructed roads more than any other government since independence. That was the chairman of the Committee of Roads and Transport. To the extent that he claimed that the President has constructed about more than 3,600 kilometers of roads. Then again came the Minister for Roads and Transport, Roads and Highways, Honorable Makwanta. He was brought to this Parliament, to this House, to substantiate the claim that he made that the President has constructed over 4,000 kilometers of road. Do you understand? And that no government has ever constructed roads to that extent. And so now we have two figures. But the minister could be pardoned because when he came here and was asked to come in and tender the details, the documents, the records for his claim, he did come in here, Mr. Speaker. He submitted a document, a voluminous one. In this document, he has indicated that within a period of 5 years, that is from 2017 to May 2021, Nana Akufo-Addo's government has constructed 4,263.37 kilometers. That tells him that he has constructed roads more than any other government. Mr. Speaker, that is misleading. And so it's worrying that having heard these conflicting details from the chairman of the committee, from the minister, then President during the SONA, and he's claiming that yes, I've constructed 10,875 kilometers of road, new roads, and that is unprecedented. Claiming that no government during the same period has constructed roads to that level. It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, it's misleading, and I think that we must put it in the right perspective. The government in the 5 years could not construct even 5,000 kilometers. But again, just 8 months, it's constructed more than 6,000 kilometers of road. And that is where we have challenges in there. Just after the SONA was delivered, the ministry also came out with a publication, a press release, Mr. Speaker, to expatiate, and that makes it worse. According to the ministry, from June 2001 to February 2022, the President has constructed over 6,000 kilometers. And in there is about 5,000 kilometers for unpaved roads. Mr. Speaker, unpaved roads are basically untarred roads, and paved roads are tarred roads. So he spent a lot of time, and that is basically, according to the document, grading. Grading, as the industry experts will tell you, doesn't form part, basically, of road construction. Because if it is grading, you grade, earth roads. That will not tell you that indeed you have constructed roads. Mr. Speaker, on the minimum, you need about 24 months, that is 2 years, to construct and organize a discipline, a critical road. And so within 8 months, we are told that the president has constructed over 6 months. But of more importance is that in this document, the minister is saying that yes, these projections, these numbers are provisional, and the ministry is in the process of validating them. Mr. Speaker, if a project, if a fact is not confirmed, is not validated, indeed it is projection and provisional, you can't tender in for any reasonable discourse. So that is why we think that it is worrying, it is misleading for the president to be asked to give you the details that within a short time he has constructed 10,875. Mr. Speaker, according to the records that have been brought, from the period of 2017 to 2020, that falls or that fits into the first term of Nana Akufo-Addo, we haven't changed the road network. From 2016, that the road network was 78,402, we still have the same record of 78,402. All we are saying is that yes, 273.37 kilometers, which is here, and we have some challenges with that, Mr. Speaker. We do have challenges because of the fact that some of, I want to put it in perspective and set the record straight. In my own constituency,
Honorable Member, the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways will have mentioned. Let's hear it.
For the opportunity. And when the colleague on the other side was talking, he alluded to the fact that the president, I believe that the ministry has put out information to buttress the points that the president made, As it stands right now, the road network has been expanded from 78,000 as we met it in 2016 to over 94,000. And the records are there to show. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, in the records that was submitted, it's here, the press release. It is indicated that, Mr. Speaker, allow me to read. It says, please allow me to read. In 2017, the total network size was 78,402 kilometers. As at the end of 2021, the projected network size had increased to 94,203 kilometers. This length, projected, Mr. Speaker, this length is currently undergoing validation by the ministry. The table one below shows Ghana's provisional network statistics currently. Mr. Speaker, if the engineers tell you that it is provisional and it's projected and has not been validated, then you, the politician, you want to be careful to go out and confirm. But it's not certified. Mr. Speaker, what is certified that we know here is that one which the minister brought, and that is 4,263.37. That is the certified details. Even that one, it is debatable because in our constituency, the roads that we constructed, Dabuasi to Ateku, from Ofiedu going there, Nana Akufo-Addo is saying that 2017 to 2019 they constructed the road. So that is debatable. That is worrying. Again, in Abosu Junction to Bompieso, Amwanda, Munivali, and Daman, which was constructed during the time of President Mahama, and it was an arrangement between the government and the mines. Nana Akufo-Addo is saying that they constructed that road. In any case, Mr. Speaker, we want to set the record straight. My colleague was saying that the network has grown. The network is projected. Yeah. It has not been, so you need to be careful because it has not been validated. So, Mr. Speaker, all I'm saying is that the 10,875 kilometers that has been tendered in by the president, we take the 4,263.37 as a certified document. The rest, which is over 6,000, indeed is not certified, it is yet to be validated. We wait for that validation to take place, then we can interrogate it. Then we can bring the minister here to come and show us the details and so on and so forth. That is why we say the information given is misleading. Mr. Speaker, we deal with facts. The worry is that every government construct road, every government construct for Nana Akufo-Addo to say that within his time, no government ever, and the minister also did say. That is why we think that it is important to make some comparison. You want to make sure that you set the record straight. If you say that we are going to take Nana Akufo-Addo's 5 years, it's misleading. Let's get him by his first term. That is from 2017 to 2020. Then, in his second term, I don't think that we should worry him because in his second term, he has just started. So allow him to do his work. At the end of 2024, then we will bring him here and judge him accordingly.
Honorable Sir, please descend for landing. I'm saying descend for landing.
Land. Yes. Okay, thank you. So all I'm saying to Speaker, there are a lot of details. I was going to compare because it is on record that President Mahama in his first term, you all know that he spent about 4 months in the first year. At the end of that period, he has constructed 5,955 kilometers of road. And the records are here, Mr. Speaker. Again, he took the road network, which is 78,402, from 68,067 kilometers. As at the time that President Mahama is exiting office, he had increased the road network to 10,244 kilometers. And the records are here. I can give you the details. Mr. Speaker, all I'm saying is that within the Nana Akufo-Addo's term, the first term, he never extended the road network even a kilometer. He did not. And I'm challenging them. He did not. He is talking about his 5th year.
Collins, Ronnie, needless controversy.
Absolutely. For me, Randy, road construction is a physical infrastructure. I mean, if your roads have been done, Roxanne, you will know. Roxanne always complains about his
Eastern Corridor.
Eastern Corridor Road. The people of Efejako North, who are lucky to have their roads from Ahinkru to Cherry completed, will know whether the president was speaking the truth or not. Of course, right after the president's speech, I've heard a lot of commentary from people. And if you read even what the president said, Randy, even prior to making that statement, he had indicated that new roads, roads that he has improved and all that. I've seen the explanation from the ministry saying that the 10,000 includes paved roads, unpaved roads, and all that. I mean, Brian, I don't think we should.
So the first time I heard it, I said, look, the president probably misspoke, because if you watch, what he said was 10,880 of new roads.
No, 885
of new roads.
And but obviously, in the speech,
yeah,
is 10,875.
Okay.
So this also
in the 5 years of my government so far, more roads have been built, improved, and upgraded than at any other equivalent period under any government in the history of Ghana. I think this is a more...
No, this is better.
Yes.
This is much better.
Yeah, I think this
captures the controversy was when he said he had built a new road.
Yeah.
People said no.
Yes.
So what did the ministry's press release
sought to do?
Yes. What was it to do?
And the ministry...
Because what was in contention was the building of the over 10,000 new roads.
But the ministry's rejoinder, if I may put it that way, agreed with the assertion that more roads have been built, improved, and upgraded.
Yes.
It agreed with that.
But that was not what the issue was. The issue was about the building of the over 10,000 euros claimed by the president. So all that we needed was for, as we told her, look,
what he meant was...
Yes, that's all.
Yes. And I think the release from the ministry clarifies that what he really meant was not new road, as in new roads that we are, like, you're going to Ablinki, there was no road here and a new road has been constructed. I mean, what he meant was some of them have been improved, there have been some improvements, new ones have been built, of course, and some have been upgraded. I think this should settle the debate. We shouldn't move into a very slippery ground of controversies. I mean, clearly, even from the release from the ministry, it becomes very clear that the 10,000 the president was referring to included roads that have been upgraded, new ones that have been built, and some that have been improved. I think this should settle the matter.
Now, Randy, the equivalent of 10,885 kilometers of new routes is about from here to Paga times 10. No, even times 10 will give me 8,750 from here to Paga.
Dr. Manipulawa says from Ghana to China.
well, yes. But from here to Paga, it's about 850 kilometers from here to Paga. So times 10 of that, I will still have a balance of about 2,000 roads to account for.
To finish your route, to finish
exactly.
your
Exactly. So it's mind-boggling, and I said it on some other platform that I have a very, very good knowledge of Ghana. And Randy, there are a lot of areas where there's some work going on the roads, but they are nothing looking like new roads. If you have an existing road and you are improving it, that is good. But if you say you've constructed new roads, it means you are cutting new roads and tiring them. That's what the people want to see. If you are doing my Asikuma to Have 45 kilometers, it's not a new road. But you can say that you have come to construct it, or you continued and finished. You can add it to your credit. I'll give you that. Okay? For instance, between Somanya all the way through Edukro to Nkrankai to Kofodia, it's being done. So the whole stretch has become a dusty road. If you finish that and you take credit for it, I'll give you that. All right? If you travel from Winneba Junction all the way to Oda, that road used to be good, but now it's in a deplorable state. If you rehabilitate it, I'll give you that. If you rehabilitate my feeder roads, which are in very deplorable state, you reshape them for me and you tar them as a feeder road, you take the credit, I'll give you that. But the controversy has been the use of the construction of the new roads. And like Randy said, the rationalization by the ministries. And I heard that all the agencies were called to try and bring figures to support what the president said. I think that's where the controversy keeps being fed and won't go away. Randy, in 2020, we took 256 million euros to do a road that you frequent a lot on. That's the Ashaman to Adomi. And I've been crying that road, JJ did it in 1998. That Ashaman. Yes, Ashaman to Akosobo, because of the construction of the bust, the farm tank, so that they can load fuel onto the Yapikwi and take to Yeji. The road is still in a fairly good shape, even though there's very heavy traffic on that. So if government intends to expand it, make it a multimodal lane road, that is fine. The president cut short in October 2020 to complete it in 36 months. This is April 2022. We've just brought a facility for tax exemption on that project for 30 million euros for a 256 million road project. So if we're not ready, why were we cutting short? You understand my point? and all this money, no.
As for short cutting, Randy. As for short cutting argument,
it's serious.
We can have that argument.
No.
My problem is when you make it seem like Nanado is the only president
with
cutting
short. And let me give you a litany of them. We've taken another facility to do the Kuntumiocho Road, the Dowena Road, also into as part of the main.
That's the British one, eh?
Yes.
What's happened?
It's in abeyance. Meanwhile, time is running on the tenure of the loan. So the excessive monies we are paying to service our debt, these are part of the problems. We take the money, we don't apply them immediately. We take years to draw down. The tenure is running. The moratorium is evaporates. And they act very heavy on our public debt. If you have Kwesimin team, that's a secondary hospital one. It's also in abeyance. We are just trying to deal with
General Hospital.
Yes.
I just watched, I think last week or last 2 weeks.
You know,
they've started.
You know, so it's because of pressure. Rita has to practically go and kneel down and cry. So we've taken a lot of facilities. We don't apply.
You know what I don't understand about that thing? The speed with which we demolished when we were ready.
Yes. You know, but did we even have to demolish?
Yeah, maybe,
look at what JM did at Reach. He could have demolished the existing.
Maybe the land size will not allow that.
No, but we could have managed. That is why we have architects now. We could have done a new design and let the old one fit in. In fact, you would have used some of the proceeds to renovate the old one to fit in. So the wastage is too much. In respect of road construction, Randy, their own documents. They haven't done much. Right. And for you to describe spot improvement when it's still potholes, like they are doing between Adome Bridge Wapon and Asikuma Junction, and call it a new road construction, is befuddling.
Okay. Now the president is out there and is granted an interview to the BBC. Let's watch that interview and then I'll take your views on that.
We're seeing the CD systematically appreciating against the dollar.
People still can't employ you now. I was just reading today, people in the hospitality industry that you're pushing so hard, having to lay their staff off. We've got taxi driver unions threatening strikes because of spiraling fuel costs. I mean, it doesn't look like a place that I want to go and put my money.
Where will you put your money in the world today? Where will you put your money? In Britain? Which is suffering the worst standard of living statistics for over 30 years? Is it? I think let's situate ourselves correctly. The world is going through very difficult times. Ghana is no exception. Nigeria is no exception. There's no country in the world that is escaping the ravages of both COVID-19 and also the impact of the. But what you need to look at are where are the elements being put on the ground that look beyond the COVID and beyond the Russian-Ukraine war. And I think you'll find that in Ghana, the recovery program that we have is one that is considered very credible, and it is what is going to give us the opportunity to come out of this period a stronger economy. And it is that.
All right. I'm sure both of you have watched this interview. Roxy?
Yes, I have, and I'm not surprised because the president doesn't accept responsibility for his actions. I've come to know that about him. And so if we put a question to him, he will parry it or find other excuses. Suddenly, we have crises in Ethiopia, we have crises in South Sudan, we have crisis in Chad, we have crisis in Cameroon, we have crisis in Djibouti. There have been crises in Mali, Burkina, and Guinea. But somehow they have not affected us. It is Russia-Ukraine crisis that is affecting us. And interestingly, for instance, 3 days ago, the suggestion was made by one member from the majority side as part of his contribution to the debate. That should be on Friday. To the debate concluding or thanking the president for delivering a message on the state of affairs of the country, to the effect that because of the Ukrainian crisis, we are unable to get fertilizer. And it's shocking if you get the data. Yes, we do get fertilizer from Ukraine and all that, but we also get fertilizer from Norway. We get fertilizer from Finland. So we get fertilizer from Morocco. We get fertilizer from Spain. So Randy, why is it that suddenly we can't get fertilizer because of the Ukrainian crisis? Why? It beats my mind. In fact, the quantity that we buy from Ukraine is the same quantity that we buy from Norway. Just about 1 or 2 different in terms of tonnage. So Norway, Finland, they are ready to supply fertilizer if we put in the bid. Morocco can give us fertilizer if we put in the bid. Spain can give us fertilizer if we put in the bid. So the government should not be telling us that because of the Ukrainian crisis we can't get fertilizer, for instance. That's one. Two, Randy, just this January, you needed 60,000 Ghana cedis if you wanted $10,000. Just January. In February, if you wanted $10,000, you had to go and look for 775,000 Ghana cedis. Now, if you want $10,000, you need 85,000 Ghana cedis. Randy, do you know the difference between January and now? The difference in the real value of money within the last 3 months is that what you needed 60,000 to do in January, now you need 25,000 more to be able to do it. That is the reality on the ground. I have heard government say that inflation is 15-point-something%, and I keep wondering which market do they go to buy their things? Randy, fertilizer now sells at 400 Ghana cedis. Even that one, my farmers in Southern, they can't get it to buy. Okada motor that my boys used to buy at 4,000 Ghana cedis. Randy, now it is 9,000. Last year, my boys, they bought Okada motor for 4,000, 5,000. Now it is 9,000. Tricycle. Toto. What's the name? Loja was selling at 9,000 just last year. Today it is 15,000. 15,000. Randy, petrol has jumped to about 9 cedis to 10 cedis depending on where you are buying. A liter. From about 6 cedis. Just October or December. Even then, I recall that the NDC, we held a long press conference decrying the sheer number of increments from January 2021 to December 2021. And lamented heavily, not knowing the worst was to befall us. Even when it was 5 cedis or 6 cedis, we were crying. Now it is 9 or 10 cedis, depending on where you are buying. Randy, you know, school placement has just come. Come and see messages on my phone from parents. Student mattress last year, they were buying it 75 cedis. Even the one with, because of bed back now, so a lot of parents, the schools are even directing that they buy the one with leather or material. Now student mattress is 250 Ghana cedis. In fact, yesterday I called Latest Foam, and they are even telling me that if you don't place the order early, they may not be able to confirm or hold down that price for me. Student mattress. That is like 4 times the price now. Trunk. You know, the one with the red crescent. They were buying it 200 Ghana cedis. A parent yesterday sent me a message that on the average it is 450 to 500. As for chop box, they were getting it 80 cedis when they did placement last year. Now it is 250. Every that one, the quality, it depends on the quality. So suddenly, even though we have free SHS, the cost that parents must bear before they can send their children to school has become exorbitant. So they are calling on MPs again. So MPs, you have to assist parents to send their kids to school. When they are in the school, the maintenance. And a lot of them, because of the nature of the placement system we have now, hitherto the policy was that students who came from afar were offered boarding status. Once it was determined that you came from afar, the school administration will place you in the boarding house. Now it is no longer the point, because the placement is automatic. So you could come from Paga or Pusiga or Hamley and be placed in Accra Academy or be placed in Maoli school in Ho and be made a day student. So your parents will have to find accommodation for you. That is also an additional cost. And all this, Collins is sitting here. Luckily, we both come from strongholds. So every single parent will look up to you. Because when they see that you go to the DCs, they may not even meet them. So the economy is spiraling. And I don't want to add out of control. The minister said, let me conclude with the minister's own comments in March.
The president or the minister?
The minister. He brought this, the interventions that he thinks he wants to make to bring us some amelioration in terms of the economic issues. He says something very, very instructive. Randy, page 16, paragraph VII. The minister is saying that they will immediately enforce the no duty, no exit policy at the NPS terminal at the Tema Port to improve revenue collection. What does that mean? Does it mean that he's superintending of our economy with leakage in terms of import duty payments at the port? This struck me that if the minister, as part of the measures to improve the economy, is now going to enforce no duty, no exit, that tells me that people are still importing things, bringing it to the harbor, clearing without paying the appropriate duties. The government speaks of digitalization of government processes. They are improving on that. But pursuant to the contents of the Auditor General's report, we are seeing more cash rather in the hands of government appointees and public servants than before. Because the cash irregularities have spiraled out of control. Yesterday, public accounts, we are sitting. And we sat yesterday, today we will sit. Cuckoo board, if you look at cash irregularities, impressed that officers will take money and will not account for it on time. Cuckoo board. So it's the leakage in the system is also too much. So the president better acknowledge the fact that the economy is in the doldrums, and something must be done to reinvigorate it, i.e., you must cut down on expenditure. You must reduce very heavy, top-heavy government. It has to reduce.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go.
My brother says the president does not take responsibility.
Yeah.
And I remember the last time I was here, the president had made a statement on a station in Cape Coast, if you recall, that the MPP did not promise an airport in Cape Coast.
Yes.
And I said, no, I believe there was a slip. The president was on peace FM to accept that he had made a mistake. In fact, interestingly, I was on the same set with my brother.
Yes, I recall that.
And just reading the State of the Nation address, and with your permission, Randy, Mr. Speaker, I have to report that, like all other major construction projects, it is evident that the initial schedule we gave for the completion of Agenda 111 was overly ambitious. He is accepting responsibility. So I am not too sure what my brother is saying. There's a president who is candid, and if he makes a mistake, he's always ready to accept.
The BBC interview. He sees this.
No, I'm just giving you instances where the president has taken responsibility of statements or issues he himself had made earlier on. And evidence with what I've just told you. I listen to the president, and Randy, my advice to my brother is that he should move away from petrol politics. I have come to one realization that, Randy, I'll try as much as possible to forget about petrol politics. Because my brother here today is talking about petrol has gone now. In this country, we've had blackboard teaching. So We've had blackboard teachings. They are always teaching us how they intend to reduce petrol prices. We've had promises of we are going to reduce petrol drastically. We've had it before. But when they came to power, I'm not too sure the rhetoric before and what they did coincided. And so I'll plead with my brother. I have decided to shy away from petrol politics because I know that we are not going to be in power forever.
You want to do cement politics rather? That cement sells at 60 cities today from 18 cities when you took over.
Again, MPs helping their constituents is nothing new. He has been helping his constituents since time immemorial. There's nothing new when students from your constituency are going to secondary school and they seek help from their members of parliament. I don't think that is new at all. The question for me is whether the president was factual in his presentation. That is what is important to me. And I think when I looked at his demeanor and his language, he was factual. I'm not too sure so far anybody has disputed any of the things that the president said during the interview. That for me is the most important thing. The president talked about the fact that the world economy is facing some challenges, which is factual. I mean, he gave a statistic about asking the host whether he was going to invest in the UK, which is experiencing one of its worst economic data as of now. Everybody is feeling the heat, and that is not to mean that the president is shying away of taking responsibility for the kind of economic challenges we are having now. What is important is what the government and the president is doing to water down the impact of the world economic outstanding. Of course, he talked about the fact that the cedi is beginning to gain some strength, which is factual. Factual. I mean, the cedi was almost 8 cedis, some were even saying more than 8 cedis.
It wasn't almost. Maybe almost 9.
8 cedis. Today, it's at 7.7.
7.7?
Yes, yesterday I checked. I don't know whether something has changed today. 7.7. You get the point I'm making. So yes, if the president says that yes, measures that he had instituted, of course through the finance ministry, is yielding some results, he is factual on those points. So Randy, my honest view is that yes, the president was bold. I mean, of course, articulation, everybody knows that he's very, very articulate. He spoke to facts, and till date, I've not heard anybody contradict any of the things that he said. That should be a plus for Ghana.
Randy, 2 rebuttals. One, the president speaking to the issues factually doesn't mean he accepts responsibility. Because I was hoping that he would then apologize to the people that he took over a government or an economy that within 5 years during his time is run into serious problems, and he would therefore give an assurance that whatever it takes, he will try and improve things. He didn't say that. He was blaming everything but his own performance. Why? Who says that there are no economies in this world doing well? His own government has come to Parliament to say that even though we had COVID, there was an improvement in terms of revenue generation. How did we do that?
There was an increase in expenditure.
No?
Add that too.
There was what?
Increase in expenditure.
Forget about expenditure. I am saying a government that says that they are blaming everything for not doing well in terms of the economy. How did that economy generate more revenue than any other year? When we had COVID. I am not saying the GRA is putting out the figures. So it means the economy did well. They are simply mismanaging it.
Okay. All right. Let me just do this before we go. A happy 40th birthday to you, the Honorable Minister of Information, Kojo Opon Nkrumah. Today is your 40th, so happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of COP Kofi Boachi. Yes, today is his
Nita.
birthday. Yes.
Boss.
Yes. So, Commander One.
Yes, Senior, good morning.
Happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of a former Central Regional Minister, Aquinas Kwanzaa.
Hey, Shatta.
Yeah. So today is Aquinas' birthday. Happy birthday to you, the Honorable Aquinas Kwanzaa. And Abigail Esihini, today is your birthday. She's the wife of Dankanamo of Kopek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so today is Dankanamo's wife's birthday, Abigail Esihini. Today is also your birthday, Mrs. Emilia Bedi Lanyon, who's the wife of Apostle Lanyon Kwame Victor. So happy birthday to you, Mrs. Amelia Bedi Lanyon. And we wish all of you God's favor, grace, and mercy as far as your lives are concerned. Thanks.
Today is a friend's son's birthday.
Okay.
Davion Mahama.
David Mahama.
Davion in Mahama. Yeah, I wish him well.
All right.
Today's his birthday.
Okay, so happy birthday, Davion. Well, thanks, honorables, for joining me on the show. And is the debate on the State of the Nation continuing today?
No, we are done.
Yesterday. We
are done?
Yesterday, yeah.
Okay.
And Randy, I think, let me take the point to congratulate you and the management of the Black Stars.
Yes,
I mean, when you went to the AFCON, I was here, you were not here. Oh, Randy, I was in my element. I was bashing you left, right, center. So I think it's just appropriate that we congratulate. That we congratulate you on a very hard-fought fight. They taking us to.
All the old ladies in my family were calling to check up on me at AFCON. When they hear the things people see on radio.
So congratulations. I think your decision to reshape the technical bench and everything.
There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yes,
so
congratulations.
Just focus and get it done. All right, so up next, GMV Trends.
The all-new original Ayuko Drive is finally here on Original 91.9 FM every weekday from 6 to 9 p.m. I'm your chief driver, the Bandolero, the people them favorite souvenir and chancellor, Sammy B, and DJ was asking owners of businesses, both big and small, to join in on the Ayuko experience. Advertise on the all-new Ayuko Drive on 91.9 FM starting this month of April, and your business will never be the same. Original Ayuko Drive. Let us go.
Are you hopeful about Ghana?
I cannot afford not to.
Is it just because you are Ghanaian?
There's too much going for Ghana for it not to work.
Ghana is not a poor country.
And why do you say that?
We are a poorly managed country.
Lifestyle, the way and manner a people live, their politics, way of governance, socio-cultural lifestyle, health habits, and everything that comes with it. Lifestyle with Rosie is a show about Ghana and for Ghana.
Is there something like an ideal time for a woman to have a child?
Early 20s.
Doc, you agree with me?
The time they are telling you, don't be, that is the time that your body says, yes, this is the best time.
Interesting. Are people taking more mortgage? Or people are self-building their homes still as it's been?
Vast number of people still out there that are buying the land. Unfortunately, some people actually pass away and that building never gets completed.
But you can also die through paying mortgage.
Well, there's a way to go around that anyway, so you're covered.
Right. Ghana is for us. If we don't talk about our issues and highlight our challenges and find solutions to them, who will? Lifestyle with Rosie is here to bring you all the intricate conversations of nation building, on health, and all the complexities of life that we find difficult to talk about as a people. Hi, my name is Rosie, and I'm your host on this show. There are no limits to what to expect. It's educative, informative, thought-provoking, and very exciting. And oh yes, I can't wait to spend time with you Saturdays at 6 p.m. Make a date.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's now time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi, the star boy.
Look,
yes, Desi, how are you?
I'm well. Oh, by God's grace, yourself.
Nice haircut.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is nice. Nice. Oh, ask Doctor, you know that.
It's nice.
Okay, so good morning, and let's get into the trends. We'll definitely begin with some of your comments on the show today, and of course, the president is trending on Twitter after the interview yesterday on the BBC. And then we'll talk about the Speaker of Parliament, and then some crazy thing that happened on a tennis court in Accra. I'm going to share that with you also. So, my name is Fading the Star Boy. Let's begin with Good Morning Ghana. Some of your comments that have come in this morning, and a lot of them on Twitter. You can always join in with the hashtag Good Morning Ghana on Twitter or hashtag GMG, or you can tweet at Metro TV DH. You can definitely do that. So let me just head on. But today is also the birthday of the Information Minister. We'll get to that later. So this one says that, so who actually organized the interview that our President Nanado granted on BBC? What a disgrace. Okay, that's from Awal Mohammed. That's what he thinks. So I said that, so the reason why I can't access free health insurance is because government is not delivering all the received funds to NHIA. No wonder after paying the premiums, the service providers keep telling us, someone must be held responsible for this. Hashtag Good Morning Ghana. And Enam says, Honorable Dafiamepo put Dr. Nyaku to where he belongs. He said that Doctor is not listening to the arguments here. He should stop by the roadside. Okay, that's Enam bringing that in. And Maxwell says that, hashtag Good Morning Ghana. Ghana's economy is terrible. BBC's Peter Okoche tells Akufado. Peter said to Akufado what many journalists want there to ask him. In fact, Ghana's economy has taken a nosedive. Okay, so that's what Maxwell says. So on that note, let's just move quickly into the president's interview on the BBC yesterday. When it popped up, it was interesting to see just a snippet of it, and then the food thing dropped, and the president was saying that, what, you're asking provocative questions. I don't know how provocative that was. I mean, the topics were the e-levy and, a number of things. So let's look at some of, just a bit of the video, and then we'll look at the comments that you have brought in.
He says that there's no need for the e-levy.
Well, that's his point of view.
He's an expert.
But he's an expert. They're experts in government as well, and we think it's necessary, and that's the reason why we...
You think it's necessary to tax people who are already impoverished?
They're not already impoverished. We're talking about people. We're talking about taxing an industry.
So that's the president there saying that they are taxing the industry, but the industry is made up of people. Oh.
It is individuals who have been taxed. The transactions you make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's look at some of the comments that have come in. Very interesting ones on Twitter. A lot of people. So this one says that Adudi vex at some point to say the guy they make provocative statements. Adudi vex provocative questions. Hey, Adudi brainy la flame with that. This one says that it's how Nigerians are hailing President Akufado on his interview with the BBC as compared to their president. For me, some are saying that our president just sat down to do for 30 minutes only to put us all in shame. See how Ghana president responded to the question with data, informed analysis, and wisdom. Hey, sir. Okay, it's an emerging digital economy with a lot of promise. So let's tax the users. Adudi, that is Adam bringing that one in on Twitter. Charlie, the guy tried so hard to be provocative, but Adudi saying, nah, show boy, and adds the fire emoji. The Omo country I don't say with blood, sweat, and tears. Adudi tear him down. Also, that's somehow school there. Sergeant will be saying that the man really went hard on Adudi. What an interview! So that's those are some of the comments that have come in from that.
Read this one.
This one, okay.
No, not this one. The previous
Adudi
one.
So the previous one that came in, so says that.
Okay.
Okay. One question I've been asking myself after the interview. Okay, so we'll get that again. But
that answers your industry question.
Oh, what that? The
guy is asking whether he's an industry.
Okay. So at this point, you have to open your eyes clear. and see the economy. The president says we are bouncing back because COVID affected everybody. So we are bouncing back, you know. Yeah. So you all open your eyes clear because the system is working 247. And it says if they are experts, we also have experts. We have the men.
That's it.
One question I've been asking myself after watching Nanado's BBC interview: when did I become an industry? So in total, we are all industry. So our president is trending on Twitter this one after that particular interview. Now the Speaker of Parliament is also trending after his comments yesterday, and it's caused a lot of chaos on social media, especially someone saying that yes, they do agree with him, others say that no, he shouldn't be saying that, or else it means that he's supporting corruption and all of that. So the bit of the interview that I find interesting, I've got that for you. Let's watch it.
We were able to bring down Kwesi Nyantakyi. We also brought down Ghana football. That is one of the brightest spots at FIFA, which the French call five. And when I met the executives of FIFA and said I was the Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, I said, what happened? Why did you people do that? That was a dynamic addition. The value that he carried at their meetings, he was highly respected and he was very influential, and Ghana football was up there. We thought we were only handling Nyantakyi. We didn't know we were handling the whole of Ghana. Senegal is up there today because the Secretary General of the whole FIFA is a beautiful young lady, and you can't beat her during elections. When we were able to bring down Kwesi Nyantakyi, we also brought down Ghana football.
So that's the Speaker of Parliament there, talking about bringing down Kwesi Nyantakyi, and in total, we brought down Ghana football, and people are not happy about it on their social media. So let's read some of the comments. This one says that this video, that's Kobiche the blogger, says that this video is hard to watch. Speaker of Parliament defending corruption. Oh my God, we find every reason to protect those using their outfit to destroy our institutions. Okay. This one says that Speaker of Parliament saying that we should bring back Nyantakyi and forgive him because of his importance to Ghanaian football and overlook all that Anas expose sought to address, says one thing about the system. The system will never change, Charlie. And here we have the Speaker of Parliament venerating a corrupt person. At any given point in time, the government and its representatives will extend grace to powerful people that the ordinary Ghanaian will never ever see. Imagine Speaker of Parliament supporting corruption. We can't treat this with the emoji, and Speaker of Parliament to Boye, Max Akina, sending that particular one in, and Speaker of Parliament is basically saying that Anas exposing corruption was wrong and we should allow corruption to thrive, as far as some people are happy. Yeah, and your Speaker of Parliament is endorsing corruption publicly and you are applauding him. The future is bleak. Keep deceiving yourself. So, look, that's a very sensitive, part of it. And this one says that the Speaker of Parliament goofed.
He says he met the FIFA executives.
Yes.
And they told him that.
That what happened? They asked what had happened.
So they told him that.
Yes.
Who banned Kwesi Nyantakyi?
That was after the expose.
Or who? Which institution?
Look, which institution banned him? FIFA. True.
And FIFA, the same FIFA told him that.
That's some of the executives.
They told him that.
I mean, the institution itself could ban, but the individuals in there would ask that. What happened? Because he was
said he meant the FIFA executives. Is that not what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
And that's what they told him.
That's what they told him. But I mean, for what he did and what the punishment that came with it, I mean, really. Anyways, now
I wasn't in the meeting with him,
so you can't tell.
Yes, but at least he has said that he met them, and this is what they said.
This is what they said. There's the last one about tennis. Michael Kwame, a 15-year-old tennis player, and something that he did. But well, it's really sad that a very young boy, 15 years, the tennis game was played here in Accra, and he lost the game. And tennis, after they play, they go and shake.
Yes.
He walked towards the other side and smacked
the
opponent.
Why?
I don't know. he lost, he was angry, and then the people there started chasing him and all of that. It's being carried on a number of tabloids. So that's the video there, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, 15-year-old Michael Kwang.
Or maybe he didn't intend to.
Oh, dog. No, dog, this one just shake and go. But he
Watch it. I thought that maybe he wanted to embrace him with a left.
No, dog. Dog, that's a slap. And then the people there were chasing. So, I mean, it's totally wrong.
So this is at the Accra Sports Stadium tennis court.
Yeah. It's totally wrong. So that's it for the trends this morning. Do enjoy the rest of your day. And Karim Mubarak, that's how they say it, yeah? Or Ramadan Karim, yes. To Tornado and all Muslims, yes, our brothers and sisters.
Which Tornado?
A very old Tornado.
This one. Nana Tornado. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So have a pleasant day. God willing, will be with you again tomorrow morning.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Stop that trash. Stop.